Okay, I guess I'm going to go ahead and get started. So my name is Dr. Marcella Smith. I am the MSW Program Director. And so some of you, I think, have already emailed me, so we've been communicating already. I will be available for any questions that you guys may have about classes, about the program, and things like that. So I'm going to be doing the orientation today. Dr. Rebecca Judd is our department head, and she will join us in a few minutes at some point. And she'll be available as well to answer any questions that you guys may have. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that I can do the presentation. And so this will also be recorded, and we'll have it available for you guys to be able to go back and look at it if you have any questions or if you need to watch it again. All right. So welcome to Texas A&M-Commerce School of Social Work, and this is the AGP orientation. So we kind of wanted to touch base with you guys today and kind of talk about the program and things like that, and some of the exciting things that are going on in the School of Social Work, or what's the future of social work, especially with our times right now with COVID-19. Technology has definitely come in handy, and it's definitely something that we'll be using constantly. And in the future, technology has improved so much for us over the past years. Dr. Judd is also working with this robot that she's working on and doing some research on, and getting that involved with the social work field and being able to use that technology to help us out in the field as well. So technology has definitely come a long way. And when you think about social work, you probably don't think about technology as much. But technology is definitely making our lives a whole lot better and helping us being able to have virtual sessions like the one we're having right now, or being able to have virtual connections with our clients in the field as well. So for today, we're going to be talking about the program itself, about the process, how things work. You guys have been in the program. Some of you probably have been in a program before if you were foundation, and now you're moving on into AGP, or some of you are just coming from somewhere else with a BSW and starting this program, or maybe you graduated from our BSW program and moving on into the AGP program. So either way, we're going to kind of talk to you today about how the process works and how that's happening. So you are here today to meet the requirements for graduate school accreditation requirements, and to help you making sure that you get the same information. So we wanted information to be consistent for everyone, and making sure that you're all getting the information at the same time, or at least getting the same information. So we're going to talk about the School of Social Work. We're going to talk about curriculum and what that looks like. We're going to talk about the graduate school and department policies and expectations, and we're going to have some additional information as well. So if you've been through the BSW program here, you would know a little bit more about our program and where it's located. However, if you're completely new to campus, our program is located in the College of Education and Human Services. We have a BSW program. We have the MSW Foundation, which if you don't have a BSW degree, or if you got your BSW degree at a non-accredited program, you would have to be a foundation and get those classes. And then we have the MSW Advanced Generalist, which you're in right now. So generally, or MSW program, the foundation is offered only online. Then the MSW Advanced, which you are in right now, we have our completely online program, and then we have face-to-face classes. However, with COVID right now, we are not offering any face-to-face classes for our MSW program this semester. So fall 2020, all of our MSW classes will be offered online. That will be evaluated next semester to see if we would be able to offer face-to-face classes. However, you can select to be in the fully online program and do all your classes online. We don't allow for you to switch back and forth. So once you select online, you will be in the online program throughout the program. if you selected face-to-face, then you would be in the face-to-face program throughout the program. We don't allow it to switch back and forth because it just causes too much confusion in terms of classes and how many classes we need to create and things like that. So it's easier for us to just determine from the beginning if you're doing online or face-to-face. All right, so we are accredited by SOX, and we're also accredited or fully accredited by the Council on Social Work Education. So why is this important? It is important because CSWE is the only accredited or only accreditation for social work programs in the US. So if your program is accredited by CSWE, you can be assured that you're getting the best quality education, the highest standard education in social work. Another thing about that is that you have to receive your degree from an accredited program to be able to sit for your licensure exam. So if you went to a different school and got your MSW, but that program was not accredited by CSWE, then you wouldn't be able to sit for your licensure exam and you wouldn't be able to get licensed in social work. So this just assures you that our program is accredited and you'll get the best quality education. You're getting the highest standard in terms of social work education, and you will be able to sit for your licensure exam and be licensed once you get your degree. Here is the list of our faculty. Like I mentioned before, Dr. Rebecca Judd, she is our department head. Mr. Brian Brumley is the field director. You will have an orientation with him after this one. He's going to talk about field. So any questions that you have about field, you may want to hold on to that until you have orientation with him at 2:45. And then you may have some of these other professors in your classes. Most of them teach at the MSW level. And so you'll have them at some point in time during your program here. And again, here's my information as well. Any questions that you may have regarding the program or classes, you are welcome to send me an email and I'll try to answer any questions that you may have. Here is our social work staff. Miss Vicki Anderson is our department administrative associate and our field coordinator. So she will also be working with you in getting you ready for field. So you'll get a lot of communications from her when in terms of your field. So any questions that you may have as well, if you email Mr. Brumley and you don't hear back from him, you can also email Miss Anderson and she might be able to help you as well if it's related to field. Miss Janet Circles, you guys may have already had emails from her. She sent you information about the orientation. And so you'll have to deal with her again each semester as well as you request for permits, because she's also the person that you email to request your permits for your specific classes each semester. So you'll have contact with her as well. Here is our phone number for if you need to reach us directly, and then here's our web address. Direct lines for Mr. Brumley if you have any field questions. Ms. Anderson as well can help you out with that. My direct line is there as well. Miss Lindsay Norris as well, because she's the Title IV director, and so if you have dealings with that, you may be able to reach out to her as well, and then Miss Janet Circles. So these are probably the numbers that you will probably use the most. Just want to remind you that with COVID and everything, we are not in the office as much, and some of us are not in the office most of the time. So email is the best way to reach us, or the easiest way to reach us. So if you have to call, you're welcome to call. If no one answers, you can leave a message. We do check our voicemail, but I guess the best way to contact us would be email, and we are pretty good about answering you within 24 hours. All right, so let's talk about the focus and sequence of the curriculum. So you guys are in the AGP concentration program, so now you're taking your advanced generalist practice courses. So the advanced generalist practice emphasizes, or emphasis is to prepare advanced practitioners for professional practice that consists of critical thinking skills, theoretical frameworks of human relationships, and differential interventions, as all system levels. So you get to get knowledge and skills at all levels, at the micro level, the meso, and the macro for working in either rural, urban environments, okay? So you basically get a focus of all of these, from micro all the way to macro. And so you get knowledge and skills within different levels. So the Advanced Generalist Curriculum consists of 36 semester credit hours for your concentration year. So this should take you 1 full year if you are doing full-time. And here you're going to receive in-depth knowledge of practice models for working with individuals and families, working with groups, working with organizations, or working with communities. You would also get advanced skills to address complex indirect practice issues that you may need to deal with, including supervision, administration, policy, practice, and program evaluation. So these are all advanced skills that that you're going to actually get now that you're taking your advanced level courses. So with the Advanced Generalist Model, it's increased capacity to build or link scarce resources in the environment. So you're able to now have that capacity to build or link those scarce resources within the environment. You're able to have that competence to use and engage with evidence-based practice, and also readiness for leadership and program development. So by the time you finish the program, you're able to have all of these knowledge and skills, and you'll have the competence to be able to do all of these things. With the AGP Advanced Standing Concentration Curriculum, so if you have a MSW degree, or if you have completed your first 24 hours of foundation curriculum, so either one of those, then you will have 12 classes left, or 36 hours. Generally, these classes are offered in Commerce, Mesquite, McKinney, or completely online program. However, like I mentioned before, due to our current situation, all our MSW classes are being offered online this semester. Next semester, we'll take a look at that and see if we'll continue online, or if we are able to do some face-to-face as well. So with your degree plan, here is what your classes would look like if you are part-time. So if you are part-time and you're starting in the fall, which if you are on here for this orientation, that would mean that you are starting in the fall. So this is what your schedule would look like. You would be taking 2 classes each semester. So 2 classes fall, 2 classes spring 21, 2 classes summer 21, 2 classes in fall 21, and then 2 classes in spring 22, and 2 classes in summer 22. So if you are part-time and you're starting in the fall, you would graduate summer 22, okay? And these are the list of classes you're gonna take. Once we finish here and you get your degree plan, these classes will be on there in the order that you need to take them. This is what your full-time schedule would look like if you're doing full-time. If you are doing full-time, you will be taking 4 classes each semester. And instead of 2 years, you would only have 1 year. So 4 classes in the spring, 4 classes in the fall, 4 classes in the spring, and then 4 classes in the summer, and you're done. So if you're full-time, you should be graduating summer 21, okay? So summer 21 versus summer 22 if you're doing part-time. And again, your classes are listed here. Fall, you would be taking your supervision and administration class, groups, research, your first research class, and field, your first field. So the way field works, you have 3 semesters of field. So fall, spring, and summer, you'll have 1 each semester. And then you have 2 research classes. So you'll have 1 research in the fall, 1 research in the spring. And then you can do your electives in the summer. The way our program is set up, classes are actually scheduled a certain way. So if you missed the class in the fall, you wouldn't be able to take that class till next year fall. So it's really important to pay attention to that. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But registration information. So all students must be permitted for all their social work classes each and every semester. So you never have to worry about whether classes will be full or you have to hurry up and register by a certain time. We do have a certain time that you need to register, but you never have to worry about classes are going to be full. I won't be able to get in a class. That's not how it works. You have to get permit for that class. So that's why you have to attend orientation. Once you get orientation, you'll get instructions on how to get permits. And then next semester, you'll be able to know, okay, this is the classes I need and request for permits for that. So once you complete your permit request, you're going to email that to Miss Janice Circles. And her email address is right here. And I'm pretty sure if you have communicated with her in the past, you have her email address, but you will email her your request for a permit and she'll send you a worksheet that you need to fill out. And then once you fill out that worksheet, you email it back to her and she'll send you the specific numbers that you need for that class, which is your permits. And then you will be able to register. Any questions so far, or you read our whole questions at the end? However, if you have any questions, you're welcome to stop me and I can answer right away. Or if you want to hold all your questions till the end, we can do that as well. Let's see. So the way our research works, I mentioned earlier that we have 2 research classes. So the first one is 590, and basically you have to pass 590 or you have to take that first before you move on to the second research class. So if you take 590 in the fall, you will be taking 595 in the spring, okay? And if you take 590, I think 590 is offered in the fall and the spring, but it's not offered in the summer, okay? So if you did take 590 in the spring, you would take 595 in the summer. So just know that those classes go one behind the other. 590 is first, and then 595 is taken the semester immediately following the semester that you took 590. And again, like I said, you have to pass 590 to take 595. So let's say you took 590 this semester and you didn't pass 590. Well, you wouldn't be able to take 595 next semester, but you would have to retake 590. And 590 is actually offered in the spring, so you would be able to take it again next semester. So your degree plan, okay? Your degree plan is really important. So today, once you're done with orientation, you will be able to log into the 500 course, which is the orientation course, and you'll be able to get all of these documents. You should have 3 documents that you need to download. Your degree plan is going to be one of them. And so basically, you're going to pick whether you're doing part-time or whether you're doing full-time. And you're going to sign it and you're going to email it to Ms. Circles. That's basically showing that you agree to either doing part-time or either doing full-time. And so that's your degree plan. Any changes that you do after you sign that will change or delay your completion of the program or graduation. So just know, because the way our classes are scheduled, like I said, classes that are offered in the fall are not necessarily offered in the spring. So let's say you missed a class or you're part-time in the fall and decided to go full-time in the spring, that may make a difference. Or if you're full-time in the fall and start part-time in the spring, that will definitely alter your graduation and the completion of the program. So it's really important that students understand that you can take as much or as, you can take 2 classes if you wanted to as part-time, or you can do full-time, or you can decide however you want to take your classes, but just know that because classes are offered in a specific semester, if you don't take that class during that semester, or if you don't take all those classes in that semester, just know that you'll have to wait a whole year to be able to take that class, okay? So all coursework on your degree plan must be completed or in your final semester process before you can apply for graduation. So you apply for graduation the last semester of coursework. So for you guys, it would be summer. So summer 21 is when you would apply for graduation. Again, any changes that you do needs to be done one semester prior to those changes. So let's say you're doing full-time right now and you know you're going to do part-time next semester. So sometime before next semester, which would be in the fall semester, you would have to email me and let me know about those changes. So any changes that you need to do towards your classes or your degree plan, please email me. My email address is also on this PowerPoint. I need to know of any changes that you plan to do. And your changes could be anything from anything that you change after you first signed it. So it can be whether, let's say we decided to do face-to-face classes in the future and you needed, if you're not in the online program, if you didn't want to do an online program, then you would have the option of face-to-face. However, if you are in an online program, you would have to complete everything online. So you can't switch from part-time, you can switch from part-time to full-time, but you can't switch from online to full-time, you can't switch from face-to-face to online. Okay, so you'll pick one form and that's what you'll do until you complete the program. So if you decide to change your status from part-time to full-time, or if you wanted to change from full-time to part-time or vice versa, or retaking a course, let's say you failed a course, you need to retake it, or if you wanted to defer a semester, something came up in your life and you have to defer a semester or so, any of those changes, you need to communicate those with me, okay? It is your responsibility to stay on track with your degree plan. You're not gonna get another copy, and so please hold on to that. You must download this to sign and send to Ms. Circles, so you should have a copy of it. Please save that on your computer and keep that copy. That way, if, let's say, for example, you decided to take off a semester or two, it would be good for you to have that degree plan because you can keep track of, okay, where did I left off, right? What classes did I last take, or what semester did I stop? What do I have left? That way you can keep track of how much longer you're gonna be in the program or what classes you're still missing, especially if maybe like you failed a certain class or something, you would have that on your degree plan showing that you're still missing that class. So hold on to your degree plan because that keeps you on track as to where you are in a program and when you're going to graduate and how much you still have left to do. Here is a calendar of what the semester is going to look like. So the last day to register without any late fees would be August 21st. First day of classes will be August 24th. Census date, September 11th. Our last day for classes this fall will be December 4th, and then our finals week is going to be December 7th through the 11th. Graduation is December 11th. However, you guys are not graduating this semester, so we don't really have to worry about that right now. All right, so let's talk about our program and graduate school policies. And you guys are in advanced standing. So let's talk about academic standing for a minute. The graduate school and MSW policies have you have to have a grade of a C or higher in your field courses. So you have to get at least a B in field, okay? You cannot get a grade of C or lower in any field classes, or you would have to retake that field class. You must also have a 3.0 GPA to graduate. So let's say by the time last semester roll around, summer 21, you're getting ready to graduate, you have to have a 3.0 to be able to graduate. If your GPA falls below the 3.0, then you're placed on academic probation and you have to raise your GPA back up to a 3.0 or higher by the end of the next semester that you're enrolled. If you get a C or lower in 4 of your graduate courses, you will be suspended for 3 years. So you're only allowed up to 3 C's throughout the advanced standing program. So basically for that year that you have of classes, you're only allowed 3 C's. The minute that you get a 4th C, you will be suspended for 3 years. So keep track with your degree plan, keep track with your classes that you're doing, and watch your grades as you're getting those C's. Just remember that you cannot get more than 3 C's. Okay, so another big thing at this point in the program is your MSW Comprehensive Exam. So the graduate school requires that all students that are candidate for a graduate degree, they must satisfactorily pass a comprehensive exam. So basically, this is an exam that covers all the work that you've done within the master's degree program. So we offer you to take the comprehensive exam, and you take this the semester that you're going to graduate. So for you guys, if you're full-time, you should be taking this summer 21. And so the comprehensive exam consists of about 100 questions, 100 objective questions covering CSWE competencies. The exam study guides are available for you guys in the library on reserve. There are 2 dates scheduled each semester for the comp exam. So basically, they'll have a review date that they do for the exam, and Mr. Bromley does that review with you guys. And then they'll have 2 dates that the exam is scheduled for. So you can take it the first date it's scheduled, and if you pass it, you're good to go. If you do not pass the first date, you'll have the opportunity to retake it at the second date. And so students are welcome to take it at the first date. That way, if they don't pass, they have the opportunity to take it the second date. Because if you decided to just wait for the second date and you fail it, you wouldn't have an opportunity to retake that semester, okay? So you must get a score of 70 to pass the comprehensive exam. Students have 2 chances, like I said, 2 chances per semester to be able to successfully complete the exam. If for some reason you took it 2 times and you were unsuccessful, so you did not pass it 2 times you took it that semester, you can petition the graduate school for a 3rd and final time to retake it, but you wouldn't be able to take it that same semester. It would have to be the following semester. So let's say you took the comprehensive exam 2 times in summer 21, that's when you're supposed to graduate, and you failed on both attempts. You can petition the graduate school for 1 final time to retake it. And you would be able to then take it fall 21, and it would be your final time. So if you took it and you failed, then that would be it. You wouldn't be able to retake it again, okay? And unfortunately, in order to get the MSW degree, you have to pass the comprehensive exam. So we give you 3 opportunities. We provide study guides for you. We provide a review session with you guys as well. So take advantage of all of that and start preparing ahead of time because as you see, you do need to pass that in order to graduate. Okay. Let's see. So now that you guys are in the program, you're in advanced program, you need to hear some information about the expected conduct in the graduate school. Okay, so as you know, as an MSW student, the Code of Conduct as a social work student, we follow the NASW Code of Ethics. So you should be familiar with this. Hopefully, if you got a BSW at this point in your education, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with NASW Code of Ethics. However, here's the link as well that you can go on there and read that as well. You'll also have to sign a Code of Conduct as well as one of the paperwork that you need to sign after orientation. As an MSW student, class attendance is mandatory. Participation has 3 components: appropriate verbal and nonverbal interaction with others, active involvement in class activities, attentiveness. Now, all of these things look a whole lot different in an online platform. And there will be some changes starting this semester in terms of how we measure attendance and participation and things like that. So when you start classes, each professor is probably going to have more information on that for you. And you'll have more information in terms of how attendance and how participation and engagement is being evaluated in terms of each individual class that you're in. Okay, so acceptable behavior and interactions with others, whether you're inside the classroom or outside the classroom, Always be courteous to your instructors and to your peers and other people around you. Respect for your instructor and others as well, and making sure that you seek and respond appropriately to written and verbal feedback from instructors and others. Electronic communication is also important. Expectation is for you to act professionally in terms of your communication at all times, being respectful. And this is also relevant for not only when you communicate via email, but also text messages and social media. A lot of times people don't think about social media as, oh, like social media for some people they would consider it to be separately or personal and stuff like that. But just remember, as a MSW student, as a social worker student, you also have to consider your social media and what you're posting, as that does reflect on you as a student. It does reflect on you as a social work student, and it also reflects on you as a student at A&M-Commerce. So just think about what you post out there as well. And in terms of your email, just think about professionalism and how you're responding to emails, whether you're talking to your peers or whether you're talking to instructors. Please make sure that you are addressing your professor in a professional manner. Make sure you always address them professionally. I've had several emails from students that just address me by my first name, and just that is not professional. If you're emailing your professor, you need to make sure that you're addressing them Professor Smith, Dr. Smith, whatever their title is, and not just calling them by their first name, and making sure that you always address them. Sometimes students just like ask a question or just make a statement with no address at all. And so those are just some little things that are not very professional when you're communicating with your professors and maybe other people as well. Just like when you go out to field, those would be some things that you need to consider when you're emailing your field instructor, or when you're emailing your supervisors in the field, making sure that you're addressing them professionally as well. And when you go out to work in the field, these are just things that we need to learn to practice now, so that when we do work in the field, that we are actually doing that in a professional manner. Academic dishonesty is something that we just do not tolerate. So we ask that you just don't do it. It will get you in trouble. It will be sent to the graduate school. The graduate school does have a policy as well on this. We, as a department, if an instructor actually finds out that a student is cheating on a test, or they're plagiarizing a paper, then they will be required to attend like an API meeting where they're sitting with instructors and that committee, and then they will decide what action they will take. Sometimes it has to be sent up to the graduate school, and then the graduate school will take over, and it's not good. Whatever it is, it will not be good on your end. So please just don't do it. Think about the ethical values that this profession instills in us and requires us to follow. So please, again, like I said, just think about the field that you're going into, and know that just don't do it. Electronic devices and communication. Again, this is more of like if you're in a face-to-face class where you have to think about your phones and things like that. This is not much of a concern in an online program, unless you're on a live session with your professor or your class, and you just use your phone, or you decide to let your phone ring. Like sometimes we have weekly live sessions, and so then I would consider that policy and making sure your phone's on silent, and so you won't disrupt the live session that's going on. Student with disabilities. So if anyone feels like they have a disability, or they're needing some type of accommodations, make sure you go through the Academic Support Committee. So if you need any more information, the Director of Disability Resources and Services is in the library in room 130. Here's their phone number as well. You need to reach out to them. If you need any type of accommodations for your classes, just know that your instructors won't be able to provide that accommodations until we get something in writing from that office that's telling us these are the accommodations that the student may need. So please reach out to them before trying to get those accommodations from an individual professor. Here are some information for the university services and resources. Here is the homepage web address, also the MyLeo. Most of you probably have already logged into MyLeo. If not, here's the web link. That's where all your classes are gonna be. That's where you're gonna access your classes, how are you gonna register, and things like that. And also the library web address is also on here for any additional resources that you may need for classes. This is the cost, or at least an estimate of the cost for tuition. If you're a full-time student, you're expected to be enrolled in 12 hours. If you are part-time, you're enrolled in 6 hours. So for full-time, it would be about $42.54 plus your books and parking. But like I said, here's the link to actually estimate your tuition. If you go on there, you should be able to put in exactly the classes or how many credit hours you're taking, and it should be able to give you a better estimate of what you'll be paying for that semester. Here's also financial aid. If you have any question for financial aid, here's their phone number. They have a fax, their email, and their mailing address. If you have any questions regarding your financial aid, I would reach out to the financial aid office. Personally, I don't know much about financial aid and how it works. I just know that if you are considering aid as a full-time student, you'd have to take the 12 hours. If you're considering aid as a part-time student, you have to be enrolled in at least 6 hours. But other than that, any type of how it works and what you need to do and all that stuff needs to be directed straight to the financial aid office. Okay, in terms of field orientation, that will be Mr. Brumley. You will have a different orientation after this one. I think it starts at 2:45, and he will answer any field questions that you guys may have. So I'm not gonna get into field quite yet. He's gonna cover that for you guys. So now that you guys have finished your orientation, like I mentioned before, you're gonna have to log in for 500 course.
Okay, I thought it's gonna be easier to call you. Hey, I forgot, Mike Smith has to undo the dates. That class won't open till the first day of classes.
Okay.
I totally forgot that. That's why I'm getting all the emails and they can't access it. And I'm like, no, that's what it is. And so I'll have to get him, it'll be tomorrow, but I'll get him to undo the dates.
Okay, so they will have access to
Just tell him to watch for an email with instructions tomorrow.
Okay, so
okay.
Okay, so starting tomorrow,
I did too.
on how to
I did
access.
too, and it just hit me that because one of them emailed and said the class is grayed out, and I was like, oh, that's what it is.
Oh.
The class, so it doesn't open until, but he can undo the dates.
Okay.
That part. So I'll have him do that, and then just tell him to watch an email tomorrow for instructions, and we'll get that opened up for him.
Okay. So yes, so you'll get an email tomorrow.
Yes, yeah, I haven't got to it either. Yes, we are. Yeah.
Okay. So once you get that email,
I know, and I thought about that driving down here, and so in just a few minutes I'll get that set up and sent to you because I got to set up a Zoom and then set up the comp both. But we'll get it out to him this evening. But yeah, what were there, 5? Yeah. So I'll get that to you and just share in a few minutes. And
I'm sorry, I think she may be talking to someone else. But yes, so basically you'll get an email tomorrow with information on how to access the 500 level course, which is your orientation course, and it'll have basically the 3 different forms that you need to fill out, that you'll need to download and fill out, and then email to Ms. Janice Circles. This will include your degree plan, whether you're part-time or full-time. It will include your acknowledgement form that you did complete orientation, and it will include the student conduct or student code of conduct form. So those are the 3 forms that you'll be able to access once we have that up and running for you guys starting tomorrow. So once you do that, Ms. Circles is gonna, once she gets that, she'll see that you finished orientation. And so then she'll be able to send you the Excel worksheet for a request for permits. And so you'll use your degree plan to be able to take those classes and request those classes to her, okay? And so basically you'll take the worksheet that she sent you and take the classes from the degree plan and put it on there as to the classes that you're requesting permits for. And once you do that, then she will send you the permits for each class. And that's the way you'll be able to register. All right, so someone asked, I have already registered for this class. Do I need to do anything else? If you're already registered for this class, which is the 500 orientation class, you don't need to do anything else. You need to wait for tomorrow to be able to access that class, to be able to get the different forms that you need. And then you can, once you get the forms, you are able to download it and then send it to Ms. Circles to be able to get permits for the actual classes that you need for fall.
I have one question.
Uh-huh.
If I am enrolling full-time starting in the fall, do I need to stay for the field orientation?
I'm sorry, you said are you starting field in the fall?
No. Well, I'm just starting the program in the full time.
Yes, but are you advanced standing?
Yes.
Well, then yes, you need field because advanced standing will be taking field this semester if you're full time.
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah, I think everybody on here needs to stay for field unless you were no. I would just do the field orientation now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
right.
thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. If you're part-time, you wouldn't be able to do field. You'll probably do 2 classes this fall, and then you probably won't do field right away, so you don't necessarily have to do your field right now, but I would still go ahead and do it. If you got an email saying that you should be doing field orientation, I would be on it. Okay, because if they send you an email, it's because you need to be on it. If you got 2 different Zoom, then you need to be on those 2 different Zoom. If you only got 1, that means you're only required to do this one, okay? All right, any other questions about how classes are set up or anything related to anything that we talked about today? Any other questions?
I have a question. For the I have received an email about the TK20. Do I need to register for that before school starts, or how is that process?
So when it comes to TK20, I would wait to have Mr. Bromley address that with you. He's going to talk about everything field. TK20 is part of field. You need TK20 for field class. And so you would be required to get TK20 starting, I'm pretty sure he has a specific date that you were supposed to get it, but if you're doing full-time in the fall, I'm pretty sure you need TK20 because you would be doing field. But he would have a better answer to that question for you since he's the one he's the one dealing with TK20, okay? All right, anything else?
I have a question, I'm sorry. When you were discussing the academic probation and how the GPA will fall, if your GPA falls under 3.0, then you'll get placed on probation. Is this like a cumulative or semester? Because what if fall I'm good, but spring comes around and I drop like 2.69? Is it because that semester dropped below? Because probably at that point my cumulative might still be, 3.0.
So your 3.0 should be your the program 3.0. So basically each semester you have to maintain a 3.0 in the social work program. So if one semester you fall before, like let's say this fall you took all your classes and you're 3.0 and above. And in the spring, you took classes and it went down like 2.9 or 2.6. Then you'll get a letter saying that you're on probation and you need to try to get that back up by next semester. Because if you don't get it back up by the next semester, then that's when you'll probably go on suspension. So it's basically every semester you have to maintain a 3.0.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome. Yes, any other questions?
I had a question.
Uh-huh.
So you were saying that because of COVID, we're doing all classes online, right? Did you state that next semester we'll reevaluate it? Because I'm more of a hands-on person. I learn better when I go to school. So I was just...
Yes, so I don't know if Dr. Judd can hear us, but that's what I've been told. We are doing all of our MSW online this semester because of COVID. We do have an online program, but we do have face-to-face program as well. However, because of COVID right now, we're offering everything online. I was told that we are gonna reevaluate that again in the spring and see if we would be able to offer our face-to-face classes or not. Dr. Judd, can you hear us?
I can, and it's also going to be on, it's also based on enrollment, honestly, and it could be because of COVID this time. With returning students and new students, there were only like 5 who wanted anything that were face-to-face. Obviously, you know, we have to have enough for enrollment. So I'm sure it has a lot to do with the COVID and the pandemic. So it was just easier for us to be online this semester, but we will reevaluate it because we still have the face-to-face options that we do want to be able to continue to offer.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone has any other questions?
So I do have another question. So I know that you said we can't go from online to face-to-face. That counts as vice versa as well, right? We can't go from face-to-face to online.
Right. So if you are in the fully online program, like that's what you selected to do, then you would have to stay in the fully online program until you're done. Or if you decided to do fully face-to-face, then you would do face-to-face. You wouldn't be able to say, I want to do 1 semester of online and 1 semester of face-to-face or switch back and forth. You wouldn't be able to do that.
Okay, got it.
I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
How would the lecture classes, like, will there be a certain time frame we would have a lecture, or are there going to be any lectures, or?
So for the classes, the online classes and what you guys are doing this semester as well, that will depend on each individual class, each individual professor, how they have their class set up. Generally, I can speak on behalf of my class. Generally, we do have video recordings of the lesson, and then I try to have live sessions each week. So I may send out an email to you guys and say, what is people's availability, right? Monday, during the week, evenings, weekends, what's your availability? And based on the majority, I might come up with a date and time or a couple dates and times that we would be able to have live sessions. Generally, it would be probably late evenings, like maybe at 6 p.m. or 6:30, or maybe it can be like a Saturday morning, just depending on how many people would prefer that. But we do try to offer opportunities for there to be some type of interaction with you guys based on your availability as well. And then these recordings or these sessions are also are recorded, so that way if you, for some reason you couldn't attend that week that we had one, you would still be able to come into the class later at a different time and still be able to watch that recording of what we did and what we talked about and the stuff that we covered that time as well. So there, as far as I know from my class, we don't have a specific date and time each week when you have to complete assignments or log in and things like that. But there may be sometimes some weeks where we do have live sessions where it is requested that you attend at a certain date and time. But it wouldn't be before I get feedback from you guys and make sure that the majority could attend a certain day and time and things like that.
Okay. And I saw somebody else that asked this question. If we're considering part-time or if we're going to do part-time, do we still have to attend the field orientation that's coming up next after this?
Dr. Judd, I'm not sure about that. Do they attend field today if they're only part-time, or is?
No, there were a couple that had indicated part-time, but we went ahead and I sent the Zoom meeting out to everybody just in case anybody changed their mind.
Okay.
And had decided to go to full-time because we just didn't have that commitment yet. If you're going to be part-time, you will not enter field in the fall, and then so you don't need to do the field orientation. You'll do it the semester before you actually enter.
And just to add to that, because I had a student with this misunderstanding before, they were told that they did not have to do field orientation, and they just thought they never had to do field orientation. Just because you're part-time and you're not starting field in the fall and you don't have to do field orientation today does not mean that before you do field, you still have to do that field orientation. So don't forget that if you don't do it today, you'll still have to come back that semester or the semester before that you're doing field to be able to do that orientation, right? Don't forget that you still have to do that. Because we had a student like that and they just assumed they'd never had to do it, and then they wanted to start field without the orientation. So if you're part-time, I'm sure you'll get email again about it, but just remember that before you start field to make sure you attend one of the field orientations.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? So like I said, don't forget, we'll send out an email tomorrow about you accessing the course and then downloading those 3 documents that you need, signing your degree plan, signing the acknowledgement form and all of those, and then emailing it to Ms. Janice Circles so she can get you started on the process for your permits. If you have any questions about the classes or even after looking at your degree plan, if you're confused, please reach out to me and I'll let you know exactly what classes you need to register for and things like that. And just remember, any changes next semester or whenever, any changes that you may have, please reach out to me ahead of time so that I can help you with that. So like if you're full-time and you decided to go part-time, or if you're part-time and then you decided to go full-time, anything like that, please reach out to me ahead of time so I can help you out with that and I can provide answers to like what that would look like in the future if you missed certain classes or if you did certain things, okay? All right, I don't have anything else if you guys don't have any other questions. Everybody clear, everybody good, ready to go?
I had him on social media, like on Instagram. So you still see? He still see.
I'm sorry, you're going in and out. We may have some connection issues. I think somebody was trying to ask a question. They were going in and out.
I think they just sent the message in the chat just saying, can we retrieve the video?
Oh, so this video will also be posted in that 500 class where you're going to access all the forms. So that orientation class that you guys registered for starting tomorrow, you'll be able to log into that and the forms will be there and the video will be there as well. Okay. All right. One more time. Any other questions? Okay. Well, if you don't have any other questions, welcome to the program. I'm not sure if you guys just transitioning from foundation to AGP or you're just fresh new into our program. Either way, welcome to this part of the program. And I'm pretty sure I'll see some of you in class sometimes. I don't know. If you're in any research class this semester, I'm teaching one of them. I don't know. You may or may not be in my section, but I'm pretty sure I'll have you in class at some point. Other than that, good luck. Welcome to the program and so glad to have you guys here. You guys have a good rest of your day and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Your picture of your living room?